Girl, the streets are saying that the feds just mistakenly leaked a video as part of their evidence drop in Diddy's trial, and things are about to get wild. Rumor has it that the video shows none other than Beyoncé allegedly getting freaky with rapper Pimp C. Now, Pimp C passed away almost 20 years ago, so you know that this footage is old. Word on the street is that this mysterious tape might actually be connected to Pimp C's sudden and still questionable death back in 2007. Allegedly, what's on it is explosive, something that could seriously shake things up for Beyoncé, especially now with all this mess surrounding Diddy. And if the whispers are true, it's supposedly way more disturbing than anyone expected. This raises the obvious question: what was Beyoncé doing making a tape with Pimp C in the first place, and how did Diddy of all people end up with the tape? Let's unpack this hot mess. So if you're wondering why this tape is causing such a stir, here's the tea. The footage that just resurfaced allegedly shows Beyoncé and Pimp C in a very private moment. And according to industry insiders, it's a lot more shocking than anyone anticipated. If what's being said is true, this could seriously mess with the carefully crafted images of both Beyoncé and Jay-Z. People really started connecting the dots when insiders claimed the woman in the video is a well-known R&B star, someone even more instantly recognizable than Kim Kardashian. And let's be real, whether you love her or can't stand her, Kim is everywhere. So if the woman on this tape is supposedly more famous than that, the list of possible names gets real short, real fast. But that's not even the wildest part. There are also rumors floating around that before his untimely death, Pimp C had allegedly threatened to release the tape. That's when people really started side-eyeing the whole situation, because it opens the door to talk of blackmail, hidden agendas, and possibly something much darker. Some people believe that the threat might have played a role in his sudden and suspicious passing, and honestly, the timing is hard to ignore. What's really fueling the fire are the rumors that Jay-Z may have gone out of his way to keep that tape from ever seeing the light of day. Allegedly, he wasn't working alone either. Word is that Jay Prince was allegedly trying to retrieve the footage from Pimp C before things spiraled out of control. If you believe the whispers, this wasn't just about embarrassment, it was about full-on damage control. For those who might not be familiar, the dynamic between Pimp C and Jay-Z wasn't exactly smooth sailing. Sure, they teamed up for the iconic track Big Pimpin', but behind the scenes, things were a bit tense. There were always whispers about friction between them, so with this alleged tape now in the mix, it has only added fuel to the fire. But let's be real, this isn't just about some tape. There's a much bigger picture here. See, Pimp C had a reputation for calling out the shady side of the music industry. He didn't hold back when it came to speaking out against the gatekeepers, the shady deals, and the people pulling strings behind the curtain. In fact, he was known for claiming to have serious dirt on some powerful figures in the game. That's why some people believe his death wasn't just a tragic coincidence. The way he died, the timing, and his vocal criticism of the industry's shady corners have all led to rumors that maybe, just maybe, someone wanted to silence him. Before he passed, Pimp C wasn't shy about saying he had some serious info on a few big names in the game. He felt like it was his duty to speak out, especially about all the shady stuff happening behind the scenes in the industry. This wasn't just gossip to him, because he genuinely believed the music business was full of dangerous, corrupt practices that could destroy anyone who dared to call them out. He was loud about it too. In interviews, he spoke openly about how things were messed up and how artists who challenged the system often ended up paying the price. And as you can imagine, not everyone was happy about him putting all that out there. He started ruffling feathers, which only added to the growing suspicion around how and why he really died. People close to him say he was tired of the games and wanted to pull back the curtain. He felt like too many artists were being taken advantage of, and he wasn't afraid to name names. That kind of honesty is powerful, but it can also make you a target. So when he suddenly passed, it left a lot of folks wondering if there was more going on than just bad luck. Fast forward to now, and everything Pimp C was saying about the music industry is starting to feel a little too real. With all these rumors still floating around about Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and this alleged tape, people are looking back at his warnings and realizing that he might have actually been telling the truth. Even though he's been gone for years, the talk about shady deals, exploitation, and powerful people covering things up hasn't stopped. And speaking of his passing, Pimp C's death back in December 2007 really shook up the music world. He was found in his hotel room after missing a flight home to Texas. The official story said it was an accidental OD, a mix of codeine syrup and sleep apnea complications. However, many people close to him weren't buying it. DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia even talked about how weird the scene was. He said Pimp C was found lying like he was praying and there was blood all over the bed. That just doesn't add up if it was supposed to be a simple overdose.
And he went in there and saw Pimp C body. Pimp C was still in there. He said Pimp C was like he was laying down like he was praying. And but it was blood all over the bed, like he threw it up, but they thought he had been shot in the head. You know, they didn't know what the hell happened because there was blood all over the bed, but he was kneeled down like he had been praying. And the candles had been burnt all the way down. So they knew he had probably been dead for like a day or something, because he always lit these candles to help him sleep.
Pimp C's mom, Mama West, has always been convinced something else happened that night. She believes someone else was in the room with her son and that he was actually poisoned. To her, the coroner's report didn't have enough solid proof to back up the overdose story. She was not the only one, because lots of people close to Pimp C have shared those suspicions. In fact, journalist Julia Beverly talked to Mama West, and she said her mom firmly believes Pimp C was unalived and someone made it look like an accidental OD to cover it up.
His mom thinks he was poisoned, and there was someone with him when he passed who was a very shady, strange character. So there was actually a person of interest, according to his mother, that she believed had something.
Too Short, who was working with Pimp C right before he passed, also isn't convinced by the official story. He pointed out that the whole situation around Pimp C's death felt off, like there was definitely some serious cover-up happening behind the scenes. What really catches people's attention is the timing. Pimp C died just as he was threatening to spill some major industry secrets, including that rumored tape with Beyoncé. Because of that, a lot of folks have started speculating that some powerful players in the music business might have had a hand in what went down. And speaking of tape, the streets are saying that the Pimp C tape is allegedly the same tape that was leaked by the feds. See, not long after Diddy was raided by Homeland Security, a lawyer named Ariel Mitchell Kidd claimed that the feds had seized tapes of a very high-profile female celeb. Y'all know how there were rumors back in the day that Pimp C allegedly made a tape with a high-profile celeb? Well, it didn't take long for fans to connect the dots. The lawyer also claimed that she was contacted by another client who wanted her to help broker the sale of a tape featuring one of the most prominent celebs in the industry. Ariel claimed that the celebrity was clearly not aware that they were being filmed.
Recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
this
I can't
tape.
Explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded.
Jaguar Wright backed her up on this, claiming that a tape of Beyoncé in a compromising situation was floating around. She revealed that Beyoncé had been secretly recorded because she had no idea that the camera was even in the room in the first place.
Because the Diddy. Ooh! Diddy done turned over tapes. Allegedly, with the Carters, it's some freak off, and the Beyonce high on the cocaine, and the tapes had jizz all over it.
Oh, and get this, it seems like Pimp C might have attended one of Diddy's freak offs, because in an old video he described a party thrown by a rapper, and it was very much given freak off.
Nigga, if you in a room naked with some other niggas and some broad, them looking at your ass, and that shit is gay, and you need to get on some other shit.
When you add all this together, well, y'all can imagine why the streets are convinced that Beyoncé and Pimp are the ones in the video the feds leaked. Girl, this is insane, but I want to know how y'all feel about Beyoncé allegedly hooking up with Pimp C back in the day, and how it has come back to bite her in the behind. Drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.